Hey, welcome back to this episode of Mommy Knows Business, the podcast where we talk about all things business and motherhood. I am your host, Meg. I'm a mom of two, and I'm an online business coach for mom entrepreneurs like you. If you're in a busy season of life and motherhood, I'm going to guess that you often feel like you don't have enough time in the day to get everything done. Between a baby on your hip, a pile of dishes in the sink, a million ideas and desires and dreams in your head, and a to-do list a mile long, it can be really stressful sometimes. And it can be really hard to find those nooks and crannies where you can take care of yourself, where you can take care of your business, where you can pursue your dreams. And this is exactly where one of my Rich Mom Club clients was when we had our coaching call this week. She has a young baby who's exclusively breastfed, and she is in the thick of it, right? She's got a lot of responsibilities at home. She's primarily a stay-at-home mom. She has an exclusively breastfed baby, like we've already talked about. She has an older child as well who's in school or starting school. And she has so many ideas for her business. She wants to come back to business and she wants to do it a little differently. And she's got a ton of enthusiasm, but she's trying to find these pockets of time to work on it. And this is what she came to our call with, a question about how to find the pockets of time. And she also expressed too that she was feeling guilty. Like even when she did try to find time to work on her business, there was a lot of guilt. It was hard for her to concentrate. And even though she had a lot of excitement and ideas, she couldn't seem to get to the point of executing on them. Now, I don't know about you, but a lot of that sounds familiar to me. I have absolutely been there before. And I'm betting that all of the mom and mom entrepreneurs out there relate to at least part of this story. And on our coaching call, you might have expected for me to go into time management tips or productivity suggestions. But what it really boiled down to at its core was that in this season of her life, and if you're in this season too, then this season of your life, the goal isn't to find pockets of time to work. The goal is to prioritize yourself before you even worry about those pockets of time. You really need to, and just like she did, fill your cup first. So let's go forward with the example that maybe you don't have childcare, so you're trying to squeeze in stuff in between naps, right? The first nap or the first break you get or the first opportunity you get, I don't want you to sit there and open up your laptop. I want you to take care of you, whether that means eating a meal, taking a shower, going on a walk, going and doing something fun. Like, what is it that fills your cup? Because the truth is that if you are sitting down at your laptop when you have a limited amount of time and you have so many things that you want to do and you have all this pressure on yourself to utilize this time so wisely, but you are coming from an empty cup, there's nothing to give. No wonder it's hard to create and innovate and show up and post a freaking Instagram story when you are in this place of self-neglect and an empty cup, right? Like, we all know that metaphor. Like if there's an empty cup, there's nothing to pour out of or pour into anyone else in your life. And so what I encouraged her to do and what I would encourage you to do is instead of trying to figure out how to maximize your time in the season of life and find 5 minutes here and 10 minutes here, before you even start thinking about that, I want you to prioritize filling your own cup. And whatever way that looks like and needs to look like that day, filling your cup doesn't always have to be child-free either, right? You could go on a walk with your child if you just know that getting some sunshine and some fresh air would help fill your cup, right? But how can we shift our goal from like hustling to find these little moments to saying, you know what, before I even try to open my laptop, before I even try to message a client or post on social media or send an email, I'm going to do something intentionally to fill my own cup first. And it's going to be hard to do at first because you're so eager to use the little bit of time you have towards your business, towards your dreams. And I get that. But trust me, by taking 5 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, whatever you've got to fill your cup at your first chance, it will make everything else in your day fall together so much easier. If you do have another work window later in the day, it will be more effective, more productive, more full of life and energy because you have something to give to the world because you are no longer an empty cup. And talk about when it comes to parenting, right? I mean, if you're at an empty cup and you're at that place of just like total burnout and exhaustion, you're depleting yourself, giving what little bit you got left to being the best mom you can be, right? So no wonder there's so much resistance and struggle to then go create something for the internet. I mean, come on. I think we're putting a lot of pressure on ourselves here. And so what I want to encourage you to do is fill your cup. If you are like my client and maybe you have a couple, 2 to 3 naps in the day, the first nap needs to be you taking care of yourself, a shower, eating, napping, reading a book, like whatever that looks like for you. If you don't have that opportunity, how can you fill your cup even with your kids? Or if you have full-time childcare, instead of, dropping them off at daycare and sitting down at your desk, what can you do to fill your cup first? Even if it means less quote unquote work time, trust me that the work time you do have will actually be better. Every time I go on a walk in the morning, it's like the last thing I actually want to do because I am just like this. I want to use my time wisely. But when I do go outside and I go on a walk, I can tell you that even if that takes an hour or an hour and a half up of my day, the limited amount of time I have left, the 2 hours left, are so much more impactful. I show up better. I show up more energized. I show up more fulfilled. I have more ideas. I get more done. And it's so much more impactful and potent than had I tried to do this over a 3-hour window, coming from a place of like burnout, right? Of exhaustion, of depletion. And so when I told my client to do this, she started to laugh. I mean, you could visibly see the like weight come off of her a little bit, this like pressure release. But she also said she didn't even think about doing this first, right? Like this hadn't crossed her mind. And I think that's how a lot of us operate. We are moms and we are putting ourselves last. And you absolutely deserve to put yourself higher up on the list. You deserve to fill your cup before you go give anything to the internet, before you go give anything to a client. You need to take care of you first. And I want that to be a standard you set for yourself. I want you to love yourself and treat yourself how you want your kids to treat themselves, right? I mean, we're such a mirror for them. They learn how to be adults by watching us adult. And I know we want them to take care of themselves, right? So we have to model that for them. Since our coaching call has passed, this client has come back to me and said she's starting to prioritize herself first, and she can already feel this like lightness. She feels so much less pressure on herself. She's already giving us updates on decisions she's making that are so much more aligned with this season of life she's in. It's embracing and accepting and making the most out of the season she has, and no longer coming from a place of, these aren't her words, but for those of us who've been in this situation, I know I have felt this before, of resenting this season of life. It's so easy to fall into that. So instead of getting into that headspace, how can we accept and embrace and allow and work with the season we're in and make it our superpower? When we have a limited amount of time to work, you better bet you are going to be the best business owner. You're going to be doing the most efficient things, the most important things, because that's our only choice, right? We're moms. We're resilient. We got this, but we've got to fill our cup first, and you need to fill your cup first. So I want you to start practicing that immediately. If you're listening to this episode and you are coming from that place of exhaustion or burnout or an empty cup, what can you do right now? Like, this episode is about to end. When it ends, what can you do right now, with kids, without kids, whatever, to replenish your cup a little bit more? What can you do on an ongoing basis? What can be a new habit or part of your weekly schedule that allows you to prioritize you and fill your cup a little bit more? And I want you to really start to practice this. And it may be a little hard at first. It may bring up some feelings, as we shift into prioritizing ourselves. A lot can come with that. But this is going to be a domino effect that changes your whole life for the better. And this is what it means to me, part of the Rich Mom framework. The Rich Mom movement is what I'm building here. So part of the Rich Mom framework is filling your own cup. It is going through that process, addressing any of the emotions that come up with that, learning what this means to you, figuring out what even fills your cup in the first place. and starting to make that more instinctual and more of just how you live your life, where you are consciously doing things to replenish yourself and not always putting yourself last and putting yourself in this state of, burnout and depletion and still expecting to give, give, and give. And I just want to say that if you're in that season, I want to be like, I love you. I know we don't know each other that way, but like, I feel you. I want to give you the biggest hug. I want you to know you're not alone. This is such a normal phase and part of being a mom entrepreneur and being a mom of any kind, I think, being a parent. And I just want you to know, like, you aren't alone. And if you are looking to connect with other moms who get it, literally this whole conversation was one we had on a coaching call, talk about a unique kind of business coaching call, right? But that's why I created Rich Mom Club. That's why I'm building the Rich Mom movement. That's why I am going to be doing the Rich Mom membership, which is coming soon, is because I really believe we need this space. We need the space to be both a entrepreneur and a mom. And instead of just ignoring the whole mom part when we're talking business strategy, like it's all interconnected. And it's just been so powerful already being in a group of mom entrepreneurs where we can talk about exclusively breastfeeding to burnout, to managing household responsibilities, to raising your prices, to launch strategies, to celebrating a client's biggest launch yet at 65K while they basically got to focus on their family during the launch. I mean, it's incredible to be in this space. And if any part of this resonated with you, I just want you to know, like, you're welcome in the Rich Mom space and part of the Rich Mom movement that we're doing here. And you're not alone. You've got this. I am here to cheer you on. And I can't wait to see you start to fill your cup more. If you enjoyed this episode, would love it if you would share it on Instagram, tag me, Hey Meg King. Of course, if you are interested in learning more about the Rich Mom Club or Rich Mom Movement, you can go to heymegking.com/Rich Mom to learn more about the membership that's coming soon, or you can go to heymegking.com/Rich Mom Club to go ahead and join us right now in the coaching program we've got going on that is so, so powerful. Either way, thank you so much for your time here. Thanks for listening. Thanks for being a part of the Rich Mom movement. I am so honored to have you in this space and honored to have spent this time with you. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will chat with you in the next episode. Bye.